These are the Mummy movies that defined action, horror, and pure chaos. And trust me, number one isn't what you think, so buckle the hell up. From ancient curses to modern mayhem, these films mix horror, action, and adventure in ways that are messy, thrilling, and totally unforgettable.
All right, let's start with The Mummy 2017. Yeah, the one with Tom Cruise running like his sneakers are on fire. It's a fast-paced reboot that takes the classic Curse of the Mummy story and gives it a modern, action-packed spin. The story's pretty straightforward. Ancient Princess Ahamenet gets buried alive because her family drama went full-on toxic. Fast forward thousands of years, she wakes up with some serious vengeance on her mind, and Tom Cruise plays Nick Morton, a soldier who's equal parts cocky and charming and somehow ends up right in the middle of this whole mess. The big hook here is Princess Ahamenet. And let me tell you, she doesn't do mild revenge. She's pissed, she's powerful, and she's basically the embodiment of every group project leader who got betrayed. 1 second, she's trapped in a sarcophagus. Next, she's unleashing plagues, stabbing people, and locking eyes with Cruise like he owes her child support. But here's the twist. This isn't just about her wrecking the world. It's about Nick Morton, Tom's character, getting tangled up in her destiny. He's not just the random thief who dug too deep. He becomes chosen. Therefore, you've got this cool push and pull. Is he the hero or the next damn villain? And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Didn't Universal try to launch a dark universe with this? Yep. They threw in Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll, which sounds like the most random casting choice ever, but somehow it works. He's the chaos glue, stitching together the idea of monsters living in a shared world. But then, plot twist again, the universe idea died faster than my willpower at a buffet. Still, let's not pretend The Mummy doesn't have some absolute bangers of a moment. That zero-gravity plane crash scene, it's insane. They filmed it practically, which means Tom Cruise really decided, hey, let me just toss myself around in a metal tube while the laws of physics quit. Respect. Then there's Ahamenet's design. Double pupils, unsettling movements, creepy whispers. It's nightmare fuel, but in the I can't look away kind of way. But here's the thing. You think it's just jump scares and dusty crypts, but there's also this emotional undertone. Nick is a selfish dude at the start. Steals, lies, runs, yet being cursed forces him to face, well, himself. Is he doomed, or can he flip the script? That's actually heavy for a popcorn monster movie. Therefore, it lands a little harder than you expect. Now, don't get me wrong, it's messy. The tone wobbles. 1 second, it's horror. Next, it's action. Then suddenly, it's comedy. But maybe that's the charm. Life's chaotic. Why shouldn't a mummy flick be the same? And yes, by the final act, shit hits the fan. Buildings crumble, sandstorms rage, Cruise is running, because of course he is, and you're sitting there wondering if he's about to become an actual god. Spoiler, kind of. He absorbs her powers, but sacrifices himself to save Jenny, the other lead. Therefore, he's cursed, but redeemed, which is basically the Cruise special. So, what do we end up with? A movie that didn't start a franchise, but still delivers wild spectacle. And honestly, sometimes a chaotic, cursed 2-hour roller coaster is enough.
Number 2, The Mummy Returns.
This is what adventure movies used to feel like. Big, loud, a little ridiculous, but so much fun you don't even care. That's the magic. It doesn't waste time explaining itself. It just throws you into ancient curses, sandstorms, and Brendan Fraser sprinting around like cardio was his full-time job. But here's the thing. This movie could have been a lazy sequel. They could have said, we made money once, let's phone it in. Instead, they went, nope. Let's crank the chaos up to 11. Therefore, you don't just get one mummy problem, you get a scorpion king, a kidnap plot, a jealous resurrection, and an army of jackal-headed goons. That's not subtle storytelling. That's piling on problems like life's a video game boss rush. And somehow, it works. The first movie had Rick and Evelyn falling in love. But now, they're married, they've got a kid, and they're still diving headfirst into danger. It's like parenting, but with more cursed artifacts and fewer tantrums. Actually, scratch that. The kid does get kidnapped, so yeah, tantrums included. Still, their chemistry holds it all together. Brendan Fraser cracks one-liners like he's allergic to silence, and Rachel Weisz somehow manages to look iconic while punching cult members in the face. Now let's talk about the Scorpion King.
Dwayne Johnson's first big movie role. People clown on the CGI today, sure, but back in 2001, that half-man, half-scorpion beast was nightmare fuel. And honestly, it still kind of is. It's the kind of thing that crawls out of your subconscious at 3 a.m. to remind you that PlayStation 2 graphics used to haunt theaters. But here's the twist. It doesn't kill the fun. The janky effects actually add to the charm now. It's like, yeah, that looks rough, but also, hell yeah, they actually tried. The action scenes? Pure chaos. Double-decker bus chase through London, sword fights in ancient temples, desert armies clashing like someone handed Hollywood a sandbox and said, go nuts. And therefore, even when logic checks out for a cigarette break, you're still locked in because the energy never dips. And this movie has heart. That's what keeps it from being just noise. Rick fighting for his family, Evelyn proving she's more than just a bookworm, even Imhotep, this walking corpse of jealousy. He actually gets a tragic arc. The dude literally dies reaching for love. Yeah, he's a murderous hellspawn, but in the end, you almost feel bad for him. Almost. About halfway through, the stakes get spicy. The kid has that ancient bracelet stuck on his arm, and if he doesn't reach the temple in time, boom, apocalypse. No pressure, right? That's the kind of storytelling rhythm that keeps you on edge. But then, right when you're stressed, the movie throws in banter, a smirk, a dumb dad joke. It's like the writers knew, yes, this is insane, but also, relax, we got you. By the time you get to the final fight with the Scorpion King, it's f***ing chaos. Armies of Anubis storming the desert, Imhotep and Rick trading blows, the fate of the world hanging by a thread, and in the middle of all that, a dad, a mom, and their kid just trying to stick together. That's what makes it hit harder than just another action movie. Beneath the curses and explosions, it's a family story. And honestly, that's why it still lands. So yeah, The Mummy Returns is messy, it's over the top, and it's one of the most entertaining sequels ever made. It knew exactly what it was. A ride. And 20 years later, it's still one hell of a ride. And hey, if you've ever gotten lost in the chaos of this movie like me, do the nice thing and hit that like button. Subscribe too, so we can keep geeking out about all the crazy stuff Hollywood used to actually have fun with. Because honestly, movies could use a little more mummy-level chaos these days.
Number 1, The Mummy. From the first scene, this movie doesn't waste time. They find a hidden tomb, but therefore, they unleash a curse. They escape, but the mummy regenerates stronger. They find the Book of Amun-Ra, but of course it's in the wrong damned language. The tension never lets up, and every beat drives the story forward. You're constantly asking, what's going to go horribly wrong next? And the movie delivers every single time. So here's the quick setup. A scrappy adventurer, a clever librarian,
I'm a librarian.
and her greedy brother stumble into a tomb looking for treasure. Instead, they accidentally wake Imhotep, an ancient priest cursed for breaking sacred rules. And suddenly, the desert is full of sandstorms, scarab swarms, and undead chaos. Sounds messy? It is, and it's perfect. The action is ridiculous in the best way. Sandstorms with giant faces, tombs collapsing, scarabs devouring people alive, undead armies rising. It's chaotic, it's messy, and yet somehow it never feels over the top because everything connects to the plot. The hero's survival matters. Every explosion, every chase, every cursed trap has weight. Imhotep? Terrifying. Not because he's a generic bad guy, but because he's cursed and relentless. Watching him slowly regenerate as he drains souls is gross, smart, and scary. But therefore, he's a constant threat. You feel him closing in with every scene. And the final showdown? Pure, chaotic perfection. Ancient magic, collapsing tombs, sandstorms everywhere, and the heroes barely surviving. When Imhotep finally goes back to the underworld, it's satisfying, messy, and earned. Not just another villain defeat. The pacing is what really sets this movie apart. It doesn't sit still. Every moment is either escalating the danger or giving you a breath before the next insane set piece. And somehow, it balances humor with horror and romance without ever feeling uneven. Brendan Fraser cracks jokes mid-fight. Jonathan screws something up. Evelyn solves the puzzle under pressure. But therefore, the stakes never drop. You care about what's happening without the movie stopping to explain itself. And that's the magic. It's big, it's loud, a little ridiculous, but completely engaging. You don't just watch it, you write it. You feel the tension of collapsing tombs, the excitement of chasing treasure, the thrill of ancient curses coming alive. And 20 plus years later, it still works. The blend of action, horror, and humor is seamless.
It's also layered with small moments that stick. A scarab crawling over your hand, a sandstorm shaping into a terrifying face, ancient spells being read at the last second. Those little things make it more than just explosions and chaos. They make it cinematic. So yeah, that's why this one tops my list. The Mummy 1999 isn't just about curses and sandstorms. It's about fun, risk, and stories that stick with you. It's messy, thrilling, and somehow timeless.